What's up, guys? Doug Lane here, Fast Lane Car Care, life in the fast lane. Today, it's Friday, it's January, 27th? Yeah, 27th. This is a day off, but I'm going to show you guys kind of what it takes to run your own business, and this is going to look different for everybody. Everybody's business structure and everything's different, but just to give you a quick little idea of what's going on. Next month marks the 6th year I've been in business officially. I got my vendor's license. I actually did mobile detailing about 2 years before that, but it was just under the table, friends and family kind of stuff. 2018 I got my vendor's license and went legit. So I'm going to show you what it takes. This is kind of the slow season for us. I'm in Ohio, if you guys don't know, so it's cold, all that stuff. Window tint takes a pretty big dive. Now this year compared to last year, I'm way ahead of the game, so that's awesome. I'm really thankful for that. But a lot of people get all worried about how long it takes to do a car, right? They want to try to get a car done in an hour or whatever, and that's fine to have goals and stuff like that, but being super fast doesn't really matter if you don't have cars, if you don't have work to keep coming in. So I'm going to show you kind of what I've got going on today. I'm going to strap this GoPro on. You probably see I got keg hoses laying on the floor. I got my keg sitting over here. I got this back glass. You're going to see a video on that. It's a back glass out of a semi. I've got the box Ford over there. I got diesel for the heater over there. So, what we're going to be doing today is heat press. We're going to be making some test t-shirts for something or another. I don't know. This isn't really my deal. This is the fiance's. But I've got air freshener templates here. These are sublimations for, let's see, move all this junk. For these bad boys, you can see I started on some. I need to finish the other side of them. We have fragrances coming, but I wanted to get at least a good handful of these done. But as you can see, I got keg parts over here, so before we can really do anything, we need to put these back together. So really super simple. I've cleaned these filters. What was happening is really on these ones. This one caught everything pretty much. The soap, because it gets cold in here, the soap, I don't know what you would want to technically call it. It just kind of gets goopy, kind of goops up, plugs up the filter a little bit. This is the first time I've ever had that problem happen. I've been running this keg for a year. No, almost, yeah, a year and a half, something like that. But anyway, try to show you guys that. It's really super simple. Make sure you guys can see it, because obviously GoPro's on my head. You drop your filter in here. It only goes in one way. This little doohickey, I don't know what you want to call it, but it doesn't really come all the way out, and that's fine. Just goes on there. Just make sure you don't cross thread it. And when you get this kind of loose, you can adjust your spray pattern however you want. I like running them vertical. That's just me, so I set it up just a little bit angled, because then we're going to take our wrench and tighten it on there pretty good. And that's just about perfect. So next step, we need to, how I clean these, I just run them under hot water. Just run them under hot water. That breaks that soap down and gets rid of it. You're gonna put your filter on, your filter in here like this. I also ran these through hot water and stuff. And with these, they're O-ringed. So you just gotta get them snug, man. You don't gotta lock them down. One of these, it's this ball lock here. This ball lock is kind of goofed up. I don't know what its deal is. It does not want to clip on super nice. So I'm running a dual hose conversion kit. I thought it was my O-ring that was bad, but I replaced it. There we go. It still goes on and all that. Grab my other hose. We'll put it together. Dual hose conversion is nice. I really enjoy it. Same deal, 200 micron filter, boom, put it in there. I used to take the hose and like throw it under the car to the other side because I didn't want to drag it through. That's good enough. Didn't want to drag it through the car and get the car all dirty and stuff like that, so I just slide it underneath the car. And I mean, you can do it, but having a dual sprayer conversion is just so much nicer because you can just sit it there and have one hose on each side. Just clips on. For the sake of being able to hear, I don't even know how I'm going to chop this video up or how much I'm going to show you, because it's going to be kind of boring, at least to me, because it's stuff I do every day. You know, a lot of times people just feel like, oh, you run your business, you run a tent shop or whatever, all you got to do is tent cars. But marketing is super important. I'm going to go ahead and say it's even more important than actually tenting, because if no one knows about you, you're gonna run out of cars to tent. And that's the problem a lot of people are having right now. A lot of guys in the Facebook groups and stuff, you see them talking about, oh, how do you know, what are you guys doing to market? What are you guys doing to advertise? Google ads, Facebook ads, blah, blah, blah. I run 0 ads. I don't run any ads at all. I don't pay for any marketing in that sense. These air fresheners, I used to order from a local place, but they're just kind of doing that. Really, it started as a hobby is what they did. I mean, they've gotten pretty big, and that's awesome, but they're not an LLC or anything, so they don't offer you like a receipt, which makes it problematic to write the expenses off. And I'd ordered like 300 from them, and over the course of like 3 months, 4 months, something like that, 6 months maybe. And for the money, I spent $1 a piece was my price. That's what they gave me. For bulk orders, I had to order, obviously a certain amount minimum. But I spent $300 with them. And then I found out for $300, I could buy everything that I need to make the air fresheners myself and offer more fragrances. Because I only, I had a choice, which they had plenty. But when you have to order 100 at a time, you don't want 10 of this, 20 of that, 5 of these. You got to pretty much make it simple, or otherwise you're not going to get a bulk price. So that's the only kind of real marketing I've paid for is air fresheners, and I think they are the best marketing for small businesses in the automotive industry. Because what do people do with them? They hang them up and they never take them down, or at least not for a long time. In my experience, I've seen vehicles that I've tinted, like driving down the road. I've seen vehicles that I did 3-4 months prior that still have my air freshener in it. I had a customer reach out to me last week or so when I was posting on my Facebook about having these back soon, and I did their car like last January or something like that, and they're like, oh, I still got your air freshener up, I'm still rocking it. So yeah, for $1 they're going to expose a lot of people to your business. So detailers, definitely. If I was in detailing still, I would definitely recommend having air fresheners. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to focus on marketing. We have a video uploading. Well, not uploading right now. It's processing right now on the laptop. And then we have another one that needs processed. So for those of you that don't know how like YouTube and GoPros and stuff work, we record, you know, on the GoPro, I can record this in like one long thing, like everything I do here for an hour, but GoPro will break that up into 11-minute segments. So you've got to put all those segments together. Even if you don't, clips, whatever you want to call them, even if you don't edit them, you don't speed them up, you don't cut anything out, you still got to put them all together into one video. I keep my videos as real and authentic as I can. I know it does not make for the most entertaining content, and that's one of the reasons why my channel grows slowly, because you don't see a bunch of sweet transitions and all the cool stuff that, like, you know, bigger channels do. And I'm probably not going to ever do that. So, not that there's anything wrong with it, but what I've found is that when you're cutting these videos up and all that stuff, you tend to cut out some good stuff that somebody that's learning might need to know. Like in the prep process, man, you might be having a certain issue, and you as a new tenor, you're gonna be like, oh man, I need to figure this out or whatever. But, you know, all these people on YouTube are like cutting this critical part out, and then you finally see somebody do it a certain way, and it's like, oh man, like, where's this been all my life? So anyway, this is a back glass of customer semi. We're gonna sit it in the other garage for now, because the little one's gonna be out here, and I obviously don't want this to get broken, so hang tight with me. All right, we're back. Went ahead and took that opportunity while I had the camera off to go ahead and fill up the diesel heater. And it's not all the way full, but it's plenty enough. You might be wondering like why I'm using a diesel heater when I have this electric little deal here. This thing's really not that great for heating. It's 26 degrees outside, even though this is all insulated. This wall's insulated, and there's another garage on the other side of that. That part's not insulated, but that's insulated, 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 insulated. That's part of the house, obviously. Garage door's insulated. That thing just can't keep up. So sometimes what I'll do if I have people waiting on a car is I'll just get it warm with the diesel heater, and then that can kind of maintain it. But once you start getting into like really basically anything colder than what it is right now, it's not going to keep up. Problem with that thing is, as far as the video goes, it's super annoying. You watch back some of my older videos and you hear, that's what you hear. So anyway, got the diesel heater fired up, ran it for a few minutes, get it warm in here. Got the heat press up on here. We're waiting on it to get warm. 320 is what I need. And we are going to, well, 320 is what we need for Mama's projects here. So I got to press this test shirt. These are both basically just tests. So what we can do, being in business is all about maximizing your time, man. If you're wasting time, I mean, you're not going to be successful. You really have to figure out how you can do like a couple days worth of work in one day, for the most part. I mean, you know, it just depends. So what we can do while we wait, because even once that gets up, oh, I take that back, I need 330 on that. 330, and then I got to press these two, and then I got to turn it up to 400 so I can press these. So I'll just kind of show you real quick what we need to do. Hopefully you guys can see. Pull the little individual baggies out, and we don't need the strings, but we'll try to, you know, not pull all of them out. They are tied together, but still. So as you can see, I got one side done, not the other. Heater's gonna kick on. Could've swore I turned that off. Well, that's okay. So what I use for this, you got to get special sublimation paper, and then you've got to get a printer. Excuse me, you can get an actual sublimation printer. However, I guess they're quite costly, I don't know. But what you can do is you can take a Brother or Epson ET series printers, and the ET stands for Eco Tank, and basically what that means is instead of having an ink cartridge, you fill it up with ink via basically a syringe. That's the kind you want. And then instead of filling it with your default Epson tank ink that it comes with, you just fill it up with sublimation ink. You know, obviously you have to buy special. The downside to doing it this way is basically that printer can never be used for anything but, again, you know, but sublimation. I'm sure you probably could, like, run enough of the regular ink out of it, and honestly, if you were probably just printing, I don't know, like if you were just printing like basic like documents or whatever, it probably wouldn't matter at all. Let's get smart here. You know, if you're if you're printing like photos, like family photos or something like that, something where quality actually really matters, might be a little different story, but this is, you know, some of the stuff you got to do. I mean, you don't have to, but marketing, anybody that's in business will probably tell you that marketing is the most important thing. That's what I will tell you every day, all day. You can be the world's best tinner, you know, it doesn't matter. If you run out of cars to tint, it doesn't matter how fast you can do a car. It doesn't matter how good you do the car. Now, over time, your quality and customer service and all that stuff will help your business grow. It will cause your business to grow. But especially your first couple years, when you're new, you know, people are going to be hesitant to take a chance on you. So, you know, getting your brand name out there as much as you can, as cost effectively as you can, is going to pay you back dividends in the long run. Like I said earlier, this is the only marketing stuff I do. I've done t-shirts before. I've given customers t-shirts. We've done t-shirts. We've given away decals. See, I've been doing this almost 6 years, and I bet you, I'd guarantee you at least 5 years. Let's say 4. Let's just say 4 to be safe. We've had a vinyl cutter and a heat press. So we've done t-shirts, we've done decals, we've done our own stuff. We've done stuff for other people. We do a little bit of like custom shirts for friends. We really don't market it, I guess you could say, because custom stuff is it's time consuming, and it's just kind of difficult to do when you've got other things to do. She's got a day job. I've obviously got my business, and we've got a baby, and we got my oldest daughter, so kind of tough to justify spending 4 or 5 hours doing custom shirts, because you gotta design it and then send it out, make sure that's good. You gotta come up with a price. You gotta actually find the time to do it, and if you're doing vinyl, regular vinyl, you gotta weed out your design and all that stuff, and if you mess it up, you gotta cut it again, and it's annoying. I don't know where I was going with that, but so I've done a lot of marketing in that sense, promotional items and stuff. Honestly, I've never really seen a return on that. Like, I've got some customers that are like, yeah, man, I'll wear that t-shirt out. And I've given away probably 200 shirts, t-shirts over the time. I've never seen, I take that back, one guy wore my shirts out in public. He worked out and he ran up and down this main street that we have around here, and I would see him. He's the only one I'd ever see wearing my stuff, and that's fine. So what you want to do here is just pretty much center these up. And this is I don't know what the heck it's called, a heat resistant tape. Basically all this is going to do is hold this design in place so that now we can move this, and it's not going to move. It's not going to move on the press when we go to press it or whatever. And everybody's logo is going to be a little bit different, but you want to just try to get it as centered, as level, and even as possible. I mean, in my opinion, it's an air freshener. Yes, I want to do the best I can, but if it's a degree off or a millimeter off, I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna fix it. I'm not gonna throw it out if I catch it after I've pressed it. As long as it's really close, it's good enough for a freaking air freshener. And again, these are just promo items, right? So, I'm just giving these away. I will give away the way I did it last, like back when I had these. I did one air freshener for each car. What's up, Mama?
Just give me this.
Breakfast ready? Yeah. Oh, nice. All right, you just sit it there. I'll grab it here in a second. All right, thank you very much.
It's on this thing right here.
All right, that's fine. So I'd put one in each car, and I would give customers, I had 2 different fragrances, sometimes 3. I would give them a choice of which one they wanted. If it was a mobile job and, the customer wasn't going to be there or whatever, I just, guys primarily liked, I had teak wood, and then girls usually like it's like a vanilla sugar or whatever is what I had. And if it was a guy's truck or something like that, I'd usually, like I said, a mobile job, they weren't there, I'd just go ahead and throw a teak wood in there. And then, if it was a girl, I'd usually throw vanilla sugar in. Seemed to work out pretty well. There's only a couple of instances where the fragrance just kind of flip-flopped, where like a guy wanted vanilla sugar or a girl wanted teak wood. So, I mean, safe bet. This time around, I think we're going to have, like, right off the rip, I think 5 or 6 different fragrances. And something like that. So it'll be pretty cool. What I'll do is I've got another one of those containers, but it's smaller, like a single deal. It's like 3 tall, whatever, I don't know. And my plan is to have them filled up with blanks, basically, to begin with. And then we'll probably, because all you got to do is add the fragrances. It's basically just an essential oil. So you can have these all pre-printed, so to speak, and then you can just throw on, you're just going to put some drops, however many drops you feel like you need, some drops of that fragrance on these. These are like a cotton wafer. I don't know if they're really cotton, whatever they are. I don't know what's it say. Pieces sublimate, HTV, inks, heat press. It doesn't say exactly what they are. But you can get these on Amazon. We got everything but the printer off of Amazon. I think I paid, like, after tax, shipping, all that stuff, I think I paid like less than $300 for the printer. And then we got the ink, which isn't really super expensive. And then, these you can get whatever way you want. I'm going to grab some square ones the next time we order these, or order stuff to make these. I'll grab some square ones because I do have another tinner that's interested in buying some. So I'll grab some square ones from him, put his logo on it as send him a couple samples, see what he thinks, and then if he wants to buy some, I'll sell them to him, and we'll make some for him. And if you guys are watching, you got your own business that you're wanting to start up or whatever, I would be more than happy to help you out with this. 2 things that I ran into when I was getting t-shirts done locally. I had one of the biggest graphic shops around. I wanted them, I placed an order, and it took me like 3 weeks to get my stickers. I did like 100 stickers or something like that. And then I had, I think it was like two months for the first batch of 30 shirts, and then like the next summer I did another batch, but I did instead of screen print, I did vinyl. So I can't remember exactly what it was, but that batch took me like 3 months. I don't play those games, guys. If I tell you like, hey man, this order is going to be done in a week, it's going to be done in a week. And that's something that a lot of businesses fail to do, is they'll take your order, they'll take your money, and then they're slow as hell getting your product out. And when you're in a seasonal business, especially as a newcomer to the scene, I guess you could say, it is super important to be timely. Like if you place this order in April and you don't get it until August, well, for a lot of businesses, especially up here in the north, like for detailing and stuff, really about October, I saw a pretty sharp my first few years. So August, September, October, you got 2 or 3 months to get all this stuff out, right? And that's, you got to have your stuff on time. So if you guys want, baby's in there, all upset. Bear with me. But if you guys want me to make you some of these, I'm more than happy to do it. I'm just going to let you know. I'm not going to do like 5 or 10 pieces. I want like really 30 to 50 or more at $1 a unit. Double-sided. They're going to come with these little goofy strings. I may see if I can just get some white ones. That's what came with all the stuff. Some plain Jane white ones, but we're obviously going to go through these first. Handful of different fragrances. You can get a hold of me if you want to get an order. Just need your artwork in like a PNG format or whatever, .png. If some people don't have logos made up or whatever, I've got people that can do that for you. Josh Welch, if you look him up on Facebook, he Mixflix Media, he does a really good job. I highly recommend him. He's in the industry, so he understands what you need, and he's very timely. That's huge for me. Good customer service, timely results. But yeah, I will make you these. Some people just want their name on it, just like words. We can whip that up in no time. I don't want to make any promises on video as to what the time frame will be, but trust me, if you order from me, you will get them in a timely basis once artwork and all that stuff happens. They will be paid up front. I feel like that should be self-explanatory, because I'm not going to get stuck with 100 of your air fresheners that do me no good because you didn't pay or whatever. So I'll come up with a number, however many you want, print them out, press them, all that good stuff, and then we'll get them shipped. Cool thing about these is they're pretty light. You can ship them a bunch of different ways based, depending on how many you're actually ordering. And that's not really a plug for my side hustle. I could care less if you order them or not, to be completely honest. I just know from experience, these are one of the most cost-effective ways you can market. You can buy Facebook ads, you can buy Google ads, you can do all that stuff. The problem with doing that is a lot of times it gets you in a market that's bigger than where you're actually servicing. So you see it all the time with sponsored ads. You might be in Texas, and then people in Vermont or California are seeing your ads. If you're tinting, bro, they're not coming that far to get their windows tinted. Plain and simple, period. These cars are going to be driving around in your local market with your logo on it. You can put your contact information on it, whatever you want. Plain and simple, people are going to be seeing this. And more importantly, let's say a relative or a friend or whatever gets in that person's car and they got your air freshener hanging. They're going, oh, hey, what's Fastlane Car Care? Oh, yeah, they did the window tint, blah, 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 or they, whatever, such and such detailing. They got my car looking right, blah, blah, blah. It starts a conversation. And people are more likely to buy from a business that their friends use and trust. So, something to think about. So I'm going to cut this real quick. I'm going to eat some breakfast. I'm going to press out these 2 shirts, second breakfast, because it's 10:18. So I get started early. I know some of you guys are not early birds, but anyway, I'm going to get started. Second breakfast, press out those 2 test shirts for Mama, get the heat press cranked up to 400, and I'll show you how I press these once I'm done. So catch you in a minute. All right, guys, we're back. We got the test shirts pressed. We got a little bit warmed up in here. You can hear that heater. This freaking thing's annoying, bro. Anyway, it's time to get these air fresheners pressed. So let me flip you around here, put you on my head, show you how we do this. We got to be kind of quick, right? Because this is a really crappy design, to be honest, and it will melt the table. It will melt the table if we're not careful. So we got these all taped on here, right, how we want them. So this next part doesn't really matter. We just need to get them all on the press. It doesn't matter if they touch in this instance. We just got to move kind of quick. Boom. These are at 420. Quite honest, I can't even remember what the time is. I believe it's 1 minute. This thing has a little timer you can set. I never set it ever. So we actually have another heat press that'll be here tomorrow. It's going to be a little bit better suited for what we want. I think this is like the second or third heat press that we've had. Little plot twist, a little tidbit of information. Some of the first shirts I made from my business, I actually didn't even have a heat press. I used an iron, and they came out pretty good. So, just about time. If you have the alarm set, it counts down and then it beeps annoyingly when your time's up. But yep, just sit here and wait. I believe these are supposed to be at 400, but I always put it at 410. I found with the infrared heat gun that these will be oh no, we made a critical mistake. We did not put butcher paper on top of these, so that can be an issue. But I'll go ahead and turn this off for a little bit. I'm just gonna leave these sit for a second. Throw that right there so it doesn't end up messing up any of these other transfers or anything if they touch. We wanted to put butcher paper or something across that so this ink doesn't bleed through the backing and then onto the platen, because if it does that, if it bleeds to the other side and bleeds out through, then the next thing you press will have that on there if you don't put butcher paper on it. So we usually try to put butcher paper on everything. I cook these for just a touch too long, but they'll kind of spring back as they, like, you know, cool down and stuff. It ain't gonna be a big deal. So now all we really have to do is just bag these up, which we don't. I probably will, just so they're bagged up, and I'll put a string on them, but not like tie them in a knot. So that way, when our fragrances come in, we can just go ahead and bada bing, bada boom, put some fragrances on there. Then they'll, you know, just throw them back in the bag, and we'll be good to go. But this is the stuff that you do, like, or should do, especially when you're starting out, when you have a day off. Instead of sitting and playing on your Xbox or PlayStation or whatever, don't get me wrong, I like to do that too. Don't get me wrong at all. I know my fiance's going to watch this and be like, you're on your Xbox. I like playing games as much as the next guy, but if you're sitting around wondering where your next meal is going to come from, you want to, you know, take your business to the next level, you need to invest your time in your business. Stuff like this, man, social media posts, like, you need to be doing it, you know what I mean? There's no excuse for it. It's 2023. There's so many different things you can do for free editing software. So just to kind of recap what I've done today on my day off. I've got a video uploading or processing right now. I've got one video processing. When that's done, which it sounds like it is, because that thing will run super loud. Sounds like it is. Then we'll upload that video. So we'll upload it, and then which I'm going to do here in a minute. While that's uploading, I'll go ahead and make the thumbnail for it to YouTube, so then we'll have that done. And then we'll also, while it's doing that, we get all the thumbnail done, we'll start uploading the next video. We'll start transferring the footage from this video to the folder on the external hard drive. We also made air fresheners, so I'm going to just keep doing this. You guys watch the same process. We're just going to keep doing it until I'm out of these. Yeah, got a lot of stuff done. Also have some content I can post to Facebook, which is really important. I can also put that on Google My Business. That's where the money is, honestly. I mean, Facebook's awesome for brand awareness and reach, but you really need to have stuff on Google too. So need to be on Google, need to be on Facebook. Instagram's okay. I never really had any luck with it as far as turning into dollars. You can get people to obviously look at your stuff, but you know, that doesn't necessarily translate into profit. And then also what you can do now is on Facebook Reels. TikTok I've not dabbled in, but I guess you can get paid for your content there. So there's all kinds of stuff you can do. If you're a business owner, you should never really have a day off. You should always be looking at what's ahead and how can you do more and all that good stuff. But that being said, guys, I'm sure this video is plenty long enough. I will see you on the next one.